Alright. We're back in the world. And we're doing pretty good, I think. So yeah, it is the next day today. In real life. We're gonna go ahead and head back to base real quick. Right now it's finally spring as well. So I think what I want to work towards is do some spring cleaning. Not necessarily actually cleaning anything, but more so like I want to clear some bosses during this season. The hope is to actually try and do Bee Queen, since we do have a lot of, like, you know, rocks. I feel like we can probably do Bee Queen. And another thing is I want to work towards doing some moose gooses as well. Obviously not as a big threat versus Bee Queen, but still kind of the same concept, since they both also have little minions that follow them. So I'm going to try my best to do both of them. However, we do need to find ourselves a normal berry bush so we can actually use that to make... Oh, it stopped raining. Great. So we can actually use that to make a bush hat, which will actually help out with the fight. So we're going to go prep for doing that. I would recommend... Obviously, I'm not really good with this strat since I haven't used it in a while. But I would recommend using stone walls, because stone walls don't really break, you know, unless meteors are a thing. However, if meteors aren't a thing, you should be fine. So I do recommend using stone walls instead of hay walls or wooden walls, because it actually is better to just use those. Since they don't burn, the only way that they'll break is either a giant steps on them or meteors, which isn't very likely, I believe. Let me see the map. Yeah, because the meteor site's kind of far away, so I don't think it should actually affect that area itself. Also, the good thing about our base right now is because it actually is very, very close to the Bee Queen, which means if we actually get this set it up, we can actually do Bee Queen pretty often, which would be great. Absolutely great. So we'll need to have around 5 books, so maybe we can do some more boss killing, or not boss killing, sorry, tentacles killing, in order to get some more of the tentacle spots, because we definitely want more of those, for sure. Alright, we're gonna go, oh, I didn't even eat that. Go ahead and deposit these. Again, we're having some issues with our food. Since we don't have bundle wraps right now, we don't really have a way of preserving our food. I mean, we can go to the salt mounds, the salt formations in the ocean, get ourselves some of the salt crystals, and that'll actually help us preserve our food longer. Because, you know, it's actually really nice having those. I'm going to go make these into meatballs since I can. And I don't really mind wasting the eggs right now, since I don't really have any use for them. Actually, I can just make dynamite, too. Yeah, I probably should just make dynamite instead. Actually, you know what? Better idea. I'm going to make another fridge. I don't have to be so stingy with my gear, since, you know, I work for them. Let me drop that real quick. Go ahead and make a cut stone. Drop the rocks. Get myself the gold. Cooking. There we go. Let's have another fridge right here. Just over here. Perfect. So, we're going to go ahead and deposit some of the meat stuff. So now that we actually have 2, I would actually be able to organize a bit. Meat stuff will be on this side of the fridge, whereas the vegetables and fillers will be left on the other one. I'll actually get away with making another one as well, just so I can preserve more stuff. But for now, we're just going to do that. That's fine. Go ahead and grab these. Funny part is because you can actually just, you know, mix and match, and it actually helps you preserve their freshness. And, excuse me, during the cooking process, it's actually nice to do that, mainly because it actually increases the amount of freshness it has, too. So the cooked product would also be fresher, which is nice. It's a really good idea. Excuse me, I got a cough. Oof. Alright. So, we're going to head on over to the swamp, because we definitely need a lot of tentacle spots. We only currently have 1. And I know we have a book inside. Okay, it's back to full, which is great. I'm gonna go ahead and drop all these as well because we won't be using them. Tentacle spikes, I don't really need to carry all of them as well. I'll leave that here too. So we have our food, we have Chester. Chester has some stuff as well. I'm gonna go ahead and drop that. Yours can be dropped too. I do apologize, anybody who is, you know, not a big fan of how messy this base is right now. I tend to do this a lot in a lot of my worlds. I just leave things on the ground a lot, so pardon my my laziness, but it helps me think. The messiness helps me think. It doesn't, but I don't have a proper chest area right now, so I don't really want to fuss about that right now. I do want to focus on my other means of survival, and preserving food is probably a much more higher priority than making the base look nice. So I won't do that for now. Just focus on getting ourselves the bee queen down. Because once we get bundle wraps, that'd be a very, very nice addition to our survival needs. Also, just habits. I'm picking up things that I don't really need to. Alright, so we have our first little enemy here. Ouch. Okay, we were unlucky with that one. Plus, we also got hit, so that wasn't very, very good. But you know what? That's fine. We'll take it. Okay, let's locate. Oh, we get a freebie here. That's great. Even better. Plus, I can hear one just around here, I think. I want to take care of that spider den afterwards, but no rush. Let's take care of this little... Ooh, I didn't have my armor on me. I tend to be very worried when I'm in the swamp. I'm never a big fan of going in the swamp anyway, because it's very scary. It's a little bit unnerving being in here. Okay, that one's down as well. Be careful, Cap. Okay, dogs are spawning as well. So we should prep ourselves for any unwanted guests. Also, a very good tip. Well, I don't know if it's very good. Oh, jeez, that's not good. That's why I don't like the swamp. I don't like surprises. Okay, so there's a tentacle here, I gotta remember that. A tip I would recommend is staying near the ocean, because dogs actually take longer to get to you since they're still running over. Which means you have enough time to actually kill them one by one, most of the time of course, to slowly kite them, which would be good. I'll still do what I'm doing. Definitely want to kite as a character who isn't Wigfrid. Should most definitely kite. Okay, so it seems to be somewhat safe. I'm going to go ahead and put that there. I'm going to eat a jelly bean right now, because I don't want to die just yet. Go ahead and drop that as well. Let's start getting that up there. So we're currently on 2. I definitely would want more tentacle spikes, or tentacle spots rather, but still pretty good haul. Yeah, yell at me, Cap. There we go. Exactly what I wanted. Cool. Ooh, and I think that's one more we need. So that's pretty much all that we need right now. We got all of them. Lovely. I was gonna say if I could just steal that fish real quick, because I would love to make a a fish sticks. However, like most of these fish people, they do not like any strangers coming around their lawn, so we'll definitely not do that. Also, let me hold on to those. Hey bud, you're hungry? Let's see. You need some monster meat if you like. There we go. There you go. There's a good boy. Alright. Ooh, I'm a little greedy. Take that. Okay, again, gotta be careful because we are still in the swamp. It's much more dangerous during nighttime, and I wouldn't recommend doing this. Death is very, very likely when roaming around at night in the swamp without proper armor. The serious thing is because I do not have a helmet, a football helmet, to actually keep me, you know, at least somewhat protected. However, I do recommend just keep walking. If you keep on walking and don't stop for, you know, at least 3 or 4 seconds long, you wouldn't get whacked, I believe. You have a small gap, like a small window for you to run away, just before it starts hitting and swinging, you know? Alright, so let us keep on gathering more of these reeds, because we definitely need more. It's also a very nice addition that they've added monkey tails in the game. However, the means of obtaining those actually takes quite a bit. Since you have to intentionally find the monkey island in order to get those. And in order to mass produce them, you'll actually have to gather a lot of moon gleams to do that. And from what I believe it's 1 for 1, so every moon gleam gives you at least 1 monkey tail. I believe it is, at least. I'm not... Ooh, okay, alright, I don't want that. I hate mosquitoes in this game and in real life. I absolutely hate that. Ooh, and tentacles. Okay. That's what I'm saying. You gotta be very, very careful if you're in here. Staying at least for a couple seconds too long and you might get whacked. Absolutely dangerous. Okay. So, another good tip, I guess, if you're roaming about at night, you get to see your sanity actually change from, you know, a slight decrease to a massive, like, decline. Once that happens, you know you're very close to a tentacle. So if I can find one nearby, I can actually demonstrate. I hear one. Yeah, you can actually see my sanity right now too. So there's one here. When you focus on my sanity bar, it's currently facing upwards. The closer you get to it, you can see that it slowly decline. So it's now max sanity regen. It turns smaller, so it's just much less because you're actually getting close to an enemy. When you get too close, your sanity goes down. So that's how you figure out whether or not you're too close to a tentacle. Especially at nighttime. It's very, very helpful for that. Or, you know, there are other characters who are much more adept at the swamp, such as Wirt. I'll probably want to try out playing Wirt sometime as well. Throughout the challenge, but we'll see. There's one right there as well. But since we are playing as Wickerbottom, we'll try our best to avoid all these bad enemies here, because it is quite scary. My umbrella. So, day 39. We haven't really gotten much progress in regards to the fights you want to do. Ooh, it's a blue mushroom one. That's really good. A fairy circle. Let's go. In terms of what we need, we're really kind of scraping the top. Ooh. Okay, that was a little scary, because I know that just 3 swipes, I would be dead without armor. So I should be very, very careful with this. Okay, we'll say that. I'll just go back now. I'm a little bit worried. We shouldn't overstay our welcome. However, I do want to also uncover the map a bit, just so we know what everything... What is, what resides in the swamp, just so we know where things are. Okay, they killed a tentacle, that's really good. Eh! Okay. And finally, we'll go for here. And then down. Let's show a bit there, too. Go there real quick. Stop trying to hit us. Mosquitoes are probably one of those insects that I despise the most. Like, to be honest, I'm not really a big insect kind of person. I don't necessarily like insects that much. Like, for certain bugs, I'm okay with. However, like, I don't know. I don't like large bugs. It's kind of one of my things that I'm not a big fan of. The things that I hate the most, especially, is a flying bug. So, I used to have, like, a very bad, well, I still kind of do, have a somewhat of a fear of large-bodied flying bugs. Most times I know it's not necessarily something to be too afraid of, because, like, let's say a roach. They're large, but they don't necessarily hurt you. They'll fly to you, but they can't really hurt you, huh? However, I don't like just having it be there. Mainly because it kind of just makes me feel awkward being in that situation, just staring at this giant bug and not really knowing what to do. Obviously, the way of doing it is just kill it, but, you know, I'm kind of a wimp when it comes to that kind of situation. However, in terms of other bugs, like, I feel like I'm okay with other bugs. Let's say like a mantis. Like a praying mantis. I'm okay with that. Or like, butterflies. I'm okay with butterflies. Or bees. Bees are okay too. I don't really mind bees that much. Plus they fly around, so... Don't really mind bees. Even spiders, I guess. Certain spiders are fine. But yeah, I don't know. Not a big fan of insects. Okay, Chester. I'm gonna go ahead and gather all the, Okay, hold on. Gather all the monster meat from you. Put it back in the chest. Or the icebox. And I think, yeah, we have enough, actually. We have enough to make, 5 books. And still have an extra in the background. Okay. So, let's go ahead and make our books. Let me see here. Papyrus. I like this feature. The feature. I like this feature. Mainly because it's really good to just hold onto the build button and have it just auto-craft the rest of the things that you're making. It kind of reminds me of like a bootleg action queue, but for crafting. Does that make sense? It's actually really nice to have it. Also, not very good. It halved my stale meatballs hunger value. So that's not very good. Oh well. Okay, so what we can work on now, since we have all our books, I'm going to go ahead and make a lot of stone walls, because we'll need it for the build. Also, I don't really need these on me anymore. Okay, let's see if that's enough. So I would say 8 by 8, which is like 64, I believe. I think it's 64, so I'm gonna go make around 64. Oh, that's already 66, so we'll see if that's enough. We'll see if it's enough. But that being said as well, we also need to bring ourselves... I'm gonna drop some grass here. Bring ourselves some more tentacle spikes because we need it to break the walls later. Go ahead and drop these. Okay, let's go. Beyond that too, we also have to find ourselves at least one normal berry bush. Because if we don't get that, it's actually going to be very tricky to do that fight without it. I wonder if we actually have any normal berry bushes in this world. I'm pretty sure there should... Okay. So, there should be a thing that spawns... Like, natural regrowth should be a thing that also spawns different types of natural resources in the world, such as grass tufts, saplings, twiggy trees, all that. They usually spawn naturally, which means that there is a chance that a normal berry bush have spawned already in this world. So we gotta try and locate it, and hopefully find it, and use it as a bush hat. Because I can't remember if there's any other way of making a bush hat besides using a normal berry bush for the hat. Which will be a problem if it doesn't work. But this is where we gotta fight. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and drop Chester here. Okay, so let's see here. 1, 2. Okay, we're gonna have bee problems. Sorry, pal. I'm a little busy. 4, okay. So it's 4 for each. 3, 4. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, this is a bad idea. Because once, like, you know, if something does spawn... I know dogs won't spawn now. But could you imagine if dogs spawn at this point? Like, at this moment, I'll probably be dead. I'm in a bad situation. And yet, I'm still not changing that situation by adding more walls. I'm gonna go ahead and make an opening right now. So the main point of doing this is because we're trying to get a spot where tentacles won't spawn, since tentacles seem to not be able to spawn on structures, and when a broken down stone wall like this is present, they aren't able to spawn on top of it, which means you can actually have a ring of tentacles where a safe spot's in the middle. So we're gonna do that. You have to pardon as well. It's gonna be quite loud. There's a lot of banging noises. But it is necessary for progress. Man, I haven't done this in a long, long time. Holy cow. It's actually kind of rushing back to me the memories of doing this strat. Also quite clever. There are a lot of really, really clever DST players out there. Just survivalists in general. Coming up with a lot of different and neat ideas to actually, you know, survive and thrive in the world against all these enemies. Plus, I get it. Is it a bad idea using tentacle spikes as a tool to break down all of these walls? Probably. But tentacle spikes, especially as Wickerbottom, are pretty much infinite. And this particular trap that we're making for Bee Queen actually is a proof of that, because you'll spawn so much tentacles at a time that by the time it actually goes to, you know, by the time when most of the tentacles are being killed, you'll actually have a lot of residuals on the floor, such as tentacle spikes and spots, which is pretty amazing. Are you hungry, Prowl? Alright. Here's a piece of seed. I know it's not much, but I also need food. I'll go back and make some food later. Let's see here. Need my lantern. And we'll just rinse and repeat until the whole thing is filled up. We should have some extras. And also, it's always better to use more than needed, especially for this build in particular. Yes, it is safer if you have a much more wider radius versus like having a tiny little circle, or square rather. So let's say if you do 9x9, 81 stone walls, you actually have a little bit more room to run around and make sure, like, you know, the tentacles won't actually get you. Because if you're doing 8x8, you have to make sure that you're going to stand in the very center of this, otherwise it doesn't work. And also, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to make a little pathway as well, actually. Because I want to make sure there's a safe path to go in without having too much of the tentacles be on top of that area. Because if you're standing in the middle here and casting your spell, there are a lot of tentacles that will be around you. So I want to make sure there's a little area that I can actually breathe in. And I'm actually a little worried now because I'm thinking, do I need to have a little bit more of a, you know, opening? Because it seems like it's not big enough. And I'm just worried that, you know, this might be the end of the run if I do fail. But let's be optimistic. I'm pretty sure it should be fine. It should be okay. Positivity. Oh yeah, here you go. You can have this. So I hope that this will work, that we'll have a little opening here that actually helps us get into place. Because if we're too close to it still, I'm worried that it might still get us. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, okay. So I should be standing right here when I'm casting my spells. However, we're not going to do it right now. I'm going to go ahead and drop the books here. Because we still need to get ourselves a berry bush in order to actually start the fight. So let's go ahead and scour the world real quick. We definitely need a berry bush, otherwise we can't progress with this fight style. Which is kind of like a silly idea for me to, you know, start building without really getting all the things I need, especially making sure that there's a berry bush available. Actually, you know what would work? I probably can go underground and check if there's a berry bush there. Because there is a high likelihood. This is the thing as well for worlds. Just because the above world is juicy berry bush doesn't mean the bottom world would have the same resources as well. Vice versa, like let's say the world above only has twiggy trees. That doesn't apply to the underground. Because sometimes the caves actually have normal saplings. Excuse me. So we'll try our luck and see if we have a normal berry bush to use, because that'll be great. I do wish, oh, excuse me, I didn't mean to hit the mic. I do wish that if Clay ever decides to make more variants of said berry bush hats, the bush hats, I would be much more happier. Either they make it just universal, any type of berry bush works, or have us have more different types of berry bush hats that also do the same thing, you know? Because it's actually kind of complicated to rely so much on having that one type of berry bush just to make that hat. I mean, I know, I mean, I get it also, like, it's not that important, but in a way it really depends, right? What kind of playstyle you're playing. If you need berry bushes, or just like a design choice too, if you need berry bush, like a normal berry bush, then you have to have, like, you know, more options, I guess. Where's that clean sweeper? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I'll use that one. Anyway. So, let's go underground. I came back to base because I also want to get a pickaxe. I'm pretty sure I left the pickaxe on the floor or something. There it is. I see it. Yeah. I knew it. And also, let's get a shovel. I have 3 shovels. That's not good. Okay. This is the lowest. I'm going to bring this one first. So, let's hope that we'll actually have normal berry bushes underground, because that would be very, very helpful if that's the case. Also, Chester, what do you have on you right now? You have pig meat, pig butts. We should really take care of some of these spider dens as well. It's not a good idea leaving them out for too long. Actually, if Chester's here, we can probably aggro. Okay. That is not what I wanted, but you know what? Sure. Because I do see some jungle. Oops. Uh-oh. Chester's being attacked. I do see some jungle berry bushes, which is not what we need, because that doesn't work for the bush hat either. If I am correct. Yeah, it is hard stuck on needing to have the original berry bush. And none of those are. That's unfortunate. Okay. Do we have any other sinkholes that are much closer? Oh, there's that one there. Whoops. Yeah, what the heck. Let's go to the other one. I want to see if there's any other loot that we haven't gotten anyway. I prefer also opening up most of the sinkholes, because I do want to have, like, more options for entrances and exits. So, let's just go do that. Why not? We're on our way anyway. Plus, we can also see if there's any muskus spawned. If any of them spawn, we can actually think about killing them as well. Always a good idea. Also, I still gotta have a reminder of myself. I gotta keep myself hydrated. My sore throat has been here for almost a week, probably hitting the half a week mark by now. So I'm trying my best to drink as much water as I can. Alright, let's go. I'm actually looking forward to play Wanda as well. I've played her before, just like tried her out a bit. I haven't really gotten far with her just yet. But I do find the character to be very, very interesting. I definitely think it's a fun take, and I'm pretty sure I'll be dying very, very often at that as that character because I'm a very greedy fighter. Whenever I do engage in fights, I tend to do more hits than I have to, which definitely makes me put myself in a much more difficult and dangerous situation, which is not good. But I feel like for that character in particular, you have to be very methodical when you're playing. You can't just go willy-nilly hitting whatever you see. You have to actually think about what you plan on doing before you fight. So, if I do ever try picking her up again, I'm definitely going to be a little bit more methodical with my playstyle. Anyway, let's hope we find a berry bush nearby. Usually in these areas, the little slimy turf area, that's where we actually get a chance of having a berry bush here. So I'm hoping we do have one, because that'd be very, very refreshing to have. But I feel like I've seen berry bushes above ground before. Like the normal berry bush, no? Or did I mistaken for something else? There's a possibility I probably did. Also, not a big fan that the caves have a leaking ceiling. Which I understand, I guess, from a geological standpoint. Is it geological? I believe it's geological. Oh, I see it. I see one. In terms of like the cave structures, usually when things freezes over above ground and and the heat starts like. Okay, I might sound very silly here, but this is what I think makes sense for the underground. Is that once the roof of the cave starts to get cold, they kind of leave behind like a little layer of water, like moisture, and by the time it gets hotter, it starts to leak and turns into like just drips of water, I guess. Does that make sense? Is that correct or am I wrong? I feel like I am wrong, but for DST logic, I feel like that kind of what makes sense. But in the real world standpoint, I feel like it's a different thing completely. I don't know. I feel like my knowledge only goes so far. And it usually tends to just be things that are not very helpful. Whoops, excuse me. Didn't mean to hit the mic again. Trying to eat a cough drop, so. Also, do we think cough drops actually work? I feel like I've been taking cough drops pretty often now. Well, actually not really that often. Although I had 3 within a week. But I don't know. I feel like cough drops are not really that helpful. Anyway, we finally got our berry bush, which means we are one step closer to actually doing Bee Queen, which is good. Here, pal. I know you're hungry. But again, since they did make an update for Wicker in regards to her books, if her sanity gets too low, she'll be spawning more nightmare creatures than she previously did with her books. So we'll definitely need to bring a little bit more tentacle spikes just so we can fight off some of the nightmares when they spawn. Because it is a little bit annoying, to be honest. It is a little bit annoying to deal with all those enemies, but we'll try our best. Plus, better be safe than sorry, I'm going to go ahead and make some more log suits. Especially during the spawning phase, we'll be having a lot of tentacles around us, and I don't want to get hit by accident. Because if I do get hit by accident, I know that the build is not big enough, and it's a little bit of a hazard. It's more of a hazard than, an actual trap for the boss. It's also a trap for us. Ooh. Bloomfin tunas. Or I think that's what they're called. I kind of want to do fishing as well in the game. The fishing part of the game is actually really fun. Some of the main things I love doing in DST is usually just farming and boss fighting as well, and fishing. But I feel like in terms of like, you know, boss fighting and all that, I prefer farming more so than any of the boss fighting stuff. I like boss fighting at, you know, when I have a team and just doing it for fun, and, you know, getting gears and all that. But I definitely prefer farming more so than any of that, mainly because I feel like it's kind of like a simulator, no? Whenever you do farming, it kind of feels like you're just, you know, playing a simulator. And I really like that. Wait, it's spring. That makes no sense. How are these open? Huh. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and make some bunny stews. Get some healing foods just in case. Okay. So, we need to make a straw hat. And then a rope. And then we can make a bush hat. Lovely. It's a sparkly bush hat too. Alright. So, I'm gonna go ahead and drop these as well. I'm just gonna let those rot. Don't need them ready. Alright. So, we're gonna fill up our hunger real quick. Drop these tools that we don't need. Bring a good amount of tentacle spikes due to the fights we'll be doing. Go ahead and pre-make our armor pieces. Mainly for safety, you know? Very well. And then, we also need to make ourselves a fireplace. Drop that. And I think we should be fine. We should be good. Oh, I'm gonna drop this too. Don't need to hold on to that. Alright. Let's see if we can start up the area real quick. Like, actually, you know, get the area prepped for Bee Queen. Also, where's my hammer? If all goes well, we can actually immediately start to fight. However, I'm pretty sure it shouldn't because, you know, Bee Queen is quite a hard fight, so I definitely want to prepare much more. Oh, this is the thing I'm looking for, bookcase. Get this out here. I'm gonna bring as much as I can. Alright. I'm going to try my best to preserve the books as much as possible. I don't want to break them. So 4 reads per book is the max I could do. Wait, oh, this is the wrong... I'm being silly. So I'm going to try my best to just use 4 charges per book and preserve them in the bookcase afterwards. Because I don't really want to waste all the tentacle spots I've gotten. I'd rather, if I do get more tentacle spots later on, I'd rather have that instead. But for the time being, I can't really afford to have them break. So more or less we'll have 24 reeds. Oh, please tell me it's not going to be frog rain as well. I'm a little bit worried after seeing that frog there. Okay. So I'll drop the hammer here. Actually, no, not in there. Farther up here. I'll put on the armor. And we'll go ahead and start reading. So, am I fully in the center? I believe this looks to be the center, right? This. Oh dear. Okay, we have bees too. That's not good. Alright, let's do it. That's what I mean. Look at that. We reached 0 and there's so many crawlers spawning. So we had to be very, very careful when doing this. Okay, that hit me. So much for being careful. So I'm wondering if I can actually get back in there without any problems. So I feel like I probably can't. Okay, that's not good. Oh, that's not good. They're fighting the beefaloes. Oh no, the small beefalo died. Oh, that's kind of sad. Okay, while they're distracted, I'm gonna go ahead and run here. And proceed on reading some more books. Whoops, almost broke that book. There's gonna be a lot of this for a while. Okay, our armor broke. I gotta be very careful with kiting because I don't have too much armor and I don't want to be wasting it on the crawlers, especially if they're not super hard to kite. So I gotta be very, very careful. Plus I gotta remove these things too later on. Never mind. Okay, thanks Charlie. I guess you'll do it that way. Okay. Okay. Glad I brought my healing food too. That is a success. Let's run. Ooh, geez, that's 3 Terrorbeaks. Cutting 3 might be a little bit tricky. However, we can try. Okay, that was a fail. Alright, that's another fail. Alright, that's much better. I can deal with 1. Jeez, I'm really bad right now. It's actually very, very hard to kite. Alright, so how many books have we read so far? We read around 12, I believe? Yeah, it's 12 charges so far. We still have another 12. So let's try. Actually, do I want to wait for tomorrow? I might want to wait, right? Our sanity's a little bit low. Well, that's not really a problem, but our health is a little bit low. I'm gonna eat this. I think we need to chill. Yeah, we might want to wait for morning. I'm just hoping by tomorrow the rain stops. Actually makes it a little more easier to deal with. I'm sorry, bud. All your families are gone. I think, yeah. Yeah. All the big beefaloes are dead. A little bit upsetting, but you know what? They're just in heat. If they weren't in heat, I feel like they'll probably be safe. I mean, I did technically place a lot of tentacles in this area, but you know what? Hey, they could have decided to walk away. Let's hope we can actually defeat the Bee Queen. I'm really worried about the Bee Queen fight, but if we can do it, I'll be pretty happy already. So let's hope for the best, I guess. Lovely. The rain's finally letting up. That's really good. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and put this away. Drop that. Whoops, I need my log suit instead. Okay. Let's do this. No biggie. Okay, seems like we're in the perfect spot. Ooh. Always kill a Terrorbeak first, because they run much faster than the crawling horrors, which means we can actually take care of them pretty easily. Oh, we got back quite a bit of our sanity. That's good. So, also, they have made some changes in regards to the tentacles, in which they have a cap now, and Wicker will actually tell you if you're no longer eligible to spawn more tentacles, which is nice in a way that they did that. But at the same time, I kind of feel like, you know, I would want to make sure everything is covered. Oh, I didn't mean to break that book. Oh no, I wasn't paying attention. I can't multitask. That was really bad. Oh well. You know what? It's one book. It's fine. Again, as Wickerbottom, I feel like it's not super bad to have them break, but at the same time, I would want to try my best to not have that happen too often. Ouch. I need to also remember to prep for dogs as well. So I gotta let the dogs spawn first before I actually do the fight. We're also farming a lot of Nightmare Fuel too, which is good. I mean, I would always be down for Nightmare Fuel. However, I would also want living logs as well. But we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. Ouch. Okay. We're in 2 more charges, and I think we should be good. A little bit bummed out that I lost one of my books, but you know what? That's fine. So long as it gets paid off by having a Bee Queen, I don't mind. I don't mind whatsoever. Okay, so I think that should be enough for now. Let's try and do Bee Queen maybe later, after the dogs, because I feel like the dogs would spawn pretty soon. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and drop off all my books real quick. And then probably, I think it, okay, so I am a little bit worried that it might not be enough tentacles. But at the same time, I feel like you know what, I'm gonna wait one more. Let's wait for all our books to have 1 extra charge, because once it gets to 21%, it'll have 1 extra charge. And then I'm going to read 5 more times, and we'll just start the fight after that, because that'll be more than enough tentacles, I'm pretty sure. Like, even right now, we have quite a bit of tentacles already. So we'll see. Oof, our food is turning bad really quickly, too. Oh, you want food? Here you go. Ooh, alright. I think we'll have to call this an episode real quick. So I guess we'll just prep for the big fight tomorrow. Alright.